Okay, so this presentation is about day and night and the rotation of the earth, and it's for kindergartners. And I would start off by asking them what sort of things they do in the morning when they wake up. So they brush their teeth, they comb their hair, they eat breakfast, those sort of things. And then I would go around and say, okay, so what do you guys do before you go to bed at night? And then brush their teeth again, their parents read them a book, they eat dinner, things like that. And that would just kind of get their attention and get them involved in the lesson. And then I would discuss what day and night mean. So day is when the sun is shining, you can see the sun, it's warm, stuff like that. Nighttime, you cannot see the sun. It's dark and everything. And then we would talk about rotation. And I would ask the class if anybody knows what rotation is, because it would be a new vocabulary word for them. And see if anybody has any ideas, and just kind of go with that. And it's just when the earth spins, and I would just kind of talk about how it like spins and rotates, and maybe kind of show them with the ball, you know, like, okay, the ball's spinning, or the globe, this is earth. And we would just talk about that. And then we would say, okay, what does the sun look like first thing in the morning? Like, where is it at? And students can say, okay, the sun is over here. It's very low to the ground. You can barely see it. And then as the day goes on, it moves higher. And then say, okay, where's the sun during lunchtime around noon? And they could say, oh, the sun's like right above us. And then, where's the sun at nighttime? And so you could say, oh, it's on this side, and it's slowly going down, and then it disappears. And they can just talk about where the sun is and how it moves through the day. And then I would say, okay, so why does the sun move during the day? Is the sun moving, or are we rotating? And we would talk about that and just say that we're rotating, and that's why the sun is moving. And that's why it goes away, is because it's moving to the other side, and it's just spinning. And then I would read the story to the students. It's called Day and Night, and I have a paper which I can hand them out so they could all follow along. I'll just read it. Day and night. Earth circles the sun. Like the other planets in our solar system, the Earth circles the sun. But as it circles the sun, it also spins around and around. Scientists call this spinning motion rotation. Earth rotates. One rotation takes 24 hours. Even though it seems to be sitting still, the Earth is constantly rotating. It takes Earth 24 hours to spin around one time. The sun shines on the Earth. The sun is always shining on the Earth, but as the Earth rotates, different parts face the sun. This causes day and night. So then we would talk about this part of that story and see if they have any questions and make sure they understand it. And then we'd go to the next part. This is day. In the day, the sky is full of light. When a place on Earth faces the sun, the sky is full of light. We call this the day. Day is an active time. Many animals are active and awake during the day. Day is also when most humans work and play. So then we'll talk about this, see if they have any questions. And then I would ask them, what do you guys do during the day? And they'd say, oh, we go to school, I go to practice after, I go to choir, I do things after school, the sun's still out, things like that. And we would just discuss what the day is. And then the next part, this is night. At night, the sky is dark. When a place on Earth does not face the sun, the sky is dark. We call this the night. Night is a quiet time. Many animals are quiet and asleep during the night. Night is also when most humans rest and sleep. And then I would say, okay, what do you guys do during the nighttime? And they say, we sleep, and hopefully they all are sleeping. And then we would just discuss that, see if they have any more questions. And then this would just lead us into our activity. And the activity is, we're just going to pretend that this ball is our globe and Earth. Usually you paint a ball and make it look like the Earth and everything. I just don't have anything to do that with. And then we're going to turn off the lights and use a flashlight, and then we're going to rotate the ball and just see where the sun lights up. So we'll do that. Okay, so the sun's over here, and if you put the ball, you can see this side is nighttime and this side is day because this light is shining. And you could spin it and rotate and see, okay, so the sun doesn't move, the Earth is spinning and rotating. Okay, this is day, this is night, they can discuss it. And you can also put like a pin in the earth and be like, okay, this is where we are. Like, this is Chadron, Nebraska. This is where we are. And then spin it and be like, okay, we're in the daytime now. Rotate it, rotate, rotate. Okay, now we're in the nighttime. Keep spinning it. We're back to day. And they can just kind of experiment and kind of get a feel for how the earth rotates and how we get from day to night. And then I'm going to do that for about 5 minutes. And there's, I have a paper, and then I would have the students just write down the sort of things that they see during the activity. You know, what did I see happen? And they can say, half of the globe was dark, half of it was light. What did I learn? What did I learn? That the earth rotates, it spins, that the sun never moves. The sun's always shining on the globe, or earth. Things like that. And then, what other questions do I have about this? Okay? And they could be like, well, does the sun spin at all? Or is the sun round like earth? They could have questions about the sun. You know, does it move? Are we the only ones that move? Do other planets move? Just sort of questions like that they may have. What can I draw that I saw happen? And they can just draw a picture of the light shining on earth. Half of it's dark, half of it's light. Things like that. And then, so they would do this activity while they're doing or they would do this paper while they're doing the activity. And then I would bring them all back together. We would just kind of discuss what we saw. I would ask them a few questions. Okay, so if you guys put the ball up there, was the whole thing lit up? Or was it half? And they could just kind of answer me, and we would just discuss what sort of things we saw. And then they would go back into their groups, and then they would complete this worksheet. And it just says, when a place on earth faces the sun, it is, and then day. They would fill it in on the lines. And then when a place on earth does not face the sun, it is night. And then there's lines for them to write them. Make sure that they write them correctly. And then for this globe, it just says, circle the part of the earth where it is day. Circle in red the part of the earth where it is night. So you can kind of see it's lighter here, darker here. They just circle that, and you could evaluate that. And that is how we would finish up the lesson. We would just talk about that worksheet and then make sure there's no more questions. And then they would turn those in, and I would review their work and make sure that they were following along. And that's just how they would be evaluated. That is the end of my lesson.